Okay, here we go. The Ben and Mikey Show.
He's about to get crazy and wild. Stay for a while. Don't touch your radio dial.
Ben and Mikey Show.
Kicking it back, sports talk. Listen to that and stay tuned for some giggles and laughs. Go.
Whoa. I didn't get a check for $8,000 from the government. They just, among other things. Does that make any sense to anybody, or is it just me?
Welcome to the Planet Mikey Show.
It's just you, Joe. It only makes sense to you. Just like every thought that comes escaping through the haze of your ancient warrior. I don't want to jump on the guy. Guy just got over 2 cases of COVID, and now I'm going to make fun of him because he's totally senile.
You do have a mean streak.
No, but he's senile. I don't want to make fun of senile people. I could end up there myself. It's the moment you've been waiting for, friends. It's the weekly drop of the finest, most well-crafted podcast in the entire United States, the 48 contiguous. I don't listen to any podcasts out of either Hawaii or Alaska, so I can't speak to that.
Okay.
We kicked the shit out of the Idaho podcast, I'll tell you that right now. Bill Smith, he's our Yoda.
Yeah, thank you.
He's a Yoda who can yodel. And we won't do that on tonight's show.
No.
He forgot his Ricola.
Oh, God.
And he, by the way, our Yoda, Bill Smith, is going to have a well-deserved vacation next week. In fact, all of us are going to have a vacation because we can't do the podcast without Bill Smith. Right, Ben?
Right. That's right.
The August 9th show, 1 week from this droppage, will not be a show. We will all be laying on beaches somewhere, trying to look down the front tops of the bathing suits of the young babes alongside us.
What could go wrong?
Everything. But that's next week, so we won't worry about that, right, Yoda?
That's correct.
All right, reason Yoda, because he's very good. He's like an advisor to the entire galactic community. Yeah, he's an experienced guy.
It's not easy being me.
And he's short and green.
Bill does every single commercial for Odyssey. Everyone. For the last 10 years. If you gave him $1 for every commercial he's ever done for the Odyssey or / Entercom, used to be known as Entercom company, he'd have $1 million.
That's right. We'd be living large.
And if you had $1 million, you'd be rich.
I would.
Ben Kitchen, underappreciated air talent. I say this in all seriousness. He should be on the air somewhere. Like Des Moines.
Des Moines, big kid, yeah. Des Moines.
No, you should be on the. In fact, all three of us, if we worked together and did a radio show, we would flip the ratings charts upside down. The three of us. You know why?
Why?
Because we're like wicked smart. We're smart. We get along. We have chemistry. We're like the three. Remember the three amigos? It was Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Chevy Chase. Remember that movie?
Yes.
We like. That's it.
Why, there's that song.
When they sang together. Let's do a little verse of it right now for the podcast listening audience. Three amigos.
Blue shadows on the trail.
Boom, 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 boom. It's Martin Short.
To the trees.
Steve Martin takes a deep breath.
You're really going to do play-by-play of this scene?
I love it. All right, that's enough. I just want to give it people. We have camaraderie amongst the three of us.
That's correct.
And drugs.
Did you say we're communists?
Now, Ben, are you going to have a radio show soon? Because, I know a couple of stations that could use your skills.
I've had a JV one for 5 years.
1510 The Zone.
There you go.
I'm kidding.
They are going to have one live local show on the Zone or the Score in Providence. You heard about that, right?
Yeah, I
New
heard
sports
that.
station
Yeah.
popping. The Score is being revitalized down in Providence.
They haven't called
one live. It's Jim Rome and whatever national bullshit.
Yeah, Jim Rome.
It's just a syndicated thing.
Yeah, just one daily live local.
How are they going to sell that?
You know who we should ask? We should ask a guy who knows how to sell radio, sports radio in particular.
Yeah.
Although he also, since I worked at WEEI, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Since I left there, this guy has become like a self-proclaimed guru of baseball knowledge on that very same radio
It's
station.
funny how it rubs off on you.
And I'm surprised.
You should stop rubbing off on people.
Jim Hackett, who's a sales representative at WEEI, I'm surprised that his show that he does on that station, which is what, is it 2 to 6 a.m. Thursday? But it's not sold out, and he's the number one sales rep at the station. I'm shocked he can't sell out his own show.
Oh, my God.
Jim Hackett joins us now for some Ted Williams / Poppy talk. Hey, Jim!
Mikey, what's up, man? Great to hear your voice. Ben, Bill, good talking and hearing you guys, too.
You know, Jim, people like you. I don't understand because most times they don't like the sales reps. You know, but you have a knack.
That was an Ordway cast us, under a bad light.
Sales weasels.
Yeah, persuasion there for a long time. You know, he had 1 million listeners or so. Calling us weasels every day didn't help. I don't think.
No, but someone has to do it. Someone has to bring in the money to pay the high-paid talent.
The backbone of the industry.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna if the sales reps don't bring in the money, who's gonna pay Mutt his $35,000 a year?
It's true. Yeah, we stew over that. We worry about stuff like that. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny about him is that I thought for sure that he would be the next spokesman for Dr. Leonard and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates because of what Dr. Leonard did for his back.
Oh man!
I mean, Mutt's got.
Ouch.
Mutt can't even get.
I would be happy to go to Dr. Leonard too, Mikey. Like you, I don't want to pay them. I want them to give it to me. You know, I need to get more airtime so that I can, be worthy of an endorsement.
Mutt has got so much back hair, Jim. I'm surprised he can get out of a corduroy chair without a noise violation.
Ouch.
It's like a rip, but no.
Poor Mutt.
No, I'm sure Mutt's probably a good guy.
I think he's happy now with all the sports betting finally getting passed. So he's in a good space. You too. You like to gamble.
I like to gamble a little bit, but when it comes to Mutt's happiness, fuck him.
Tell us how you really feel.
I know we're having some fun here, aren't we? Now, Jim Hackett, I saw you. I follow you on Twitter. You follow me on Twitter. We tweet. We both tweet. And you put out a tweet, and I took issue with it, being an old school guy. And it's not, Jim, it's not personal because I like you. You know I like you.
100%. Sit right back at you, man. And believe me, I put out this tweet. I'm going to let you set it up. But it wasn't without trepidation. I knew something was coming. I wasn't sure it was going to be you.
Here
but
it
I knew
is.
something was coming.
Here's a clip from our last show. So Jim Hackett, the sales rep, he put on Twitter, and he said, all due respect to Ted Williams. Sorry, Ted, but Poppy's the greatest Red Sox that ever lived. Now, I love Poppy. Okay,
I know you do.
We're personal friends. I said, Poppy, am I your best friend? He goes, of course, man. And so
why'd you have him shot?
It was about a woman. No. Now, Poppy is wonderful. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's great. I love him. All the things he did, he was, and you've said, I think, was the greatest clutch hitter of all time. I think maybe you're right. And I watched
1,000,000%.
I watched all of Yaz's clutch hitting, and it was huge. But Poppy has to take that trophy. Okay, so I will grant you that. But you can't say that Ted Williams was not the greatest all-time Red Sox player. And if you think you can, go ahead and defend yourself.
Well, here's what I'm going to say, okay? I'm going to disarm you a little bit because I'm not going to try to make a statistical argument.
Like Dave Dravecki.
Oh, Jesus.
You disarm me?
I'm going to absolutely disarm you because Ted Williams is the greatest.
It's only a flesh wound.
He is the greatest hitter of all time. It's unquestioned. Any planet, any galaxy, any universe.
So how can Poppy be better than the greatest hitter of all time?
But my argument is that David Ortiz is the greatest Red Sox of all time. And it's not just about the hitting, Mikey. And it encapsulates a lot. And
Well,
a lot
he's a
of
DH. He didn't do any fielding.
A little bit.
No, he didn't pitch.
You got a little bit, but hear me out. We'll just put that aside.
All right, go ahead.
This is where I'm coming from. You're from these parts, okay? We as Boston sports fans, we're an enigma specifically, I think, because of the Red Sox. The 86-year quest for a World Series with all the lumps along the way, okay?
Sure.
And I was 8 years old in '78. I was in my bedroom crying when they lost, when Bucky Dent hit the home run, the whole thing.
Which isn't unusual because you were always in your bedroom crying.
Yeah, it's not unusual. We should put a disclaimer on that one. But in '86, I didn't go to school for like 2 days. I sat down on the park. So believe me, part of the long suffering, okay?
Yeah.
And part of what makes David Ortiz the greatest is the greatest Red Sox, the greatest ambassador of the brand, the face of the Red Sox is everything that goes into the story and the prominence with which he led through their first original breakthrough in 04, and then again in 07,
and 13. Yes, and he did. But did he do it alone?
No, of course not.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
So,
of course not. But he was the engine, Mikey. He was the engine.
Yes,
and
he
even more so than Pedro at that point. Like Pedro kind of was, his best years were, I'd say, 98 to 2002.
But you had Manny Ramirez, you had Bill Miller with clutch hitting going on. You have Dave Roberts stealing bases. You had Derek Lowe, for God's sake. He didn't do it alone, and the opportunity that he had to do it was because of all the contributions of Poppy and all the rest of these guys to put him in a position to do that. Ted Williams never had that luxury.
Yeah, but there's another factor. So I've got two things I want to take umbrage on. One is something Ben said in that podcast, which I listened to, by the way. It was good. And appreciate
Ben says some dumb shit.
I don't really pay attention. I just open my mouth.
My argument on some of where you're going right now is simply this, is you could only compare players within their era.
Sure.
So, for instance, like when Ben had mentioned, but back then you had to win your league and then you played in the World Series. Well, that's a two-way street. Because now, if you, like last year, let's say if the Red Sox won, it would have taken 13 games to win. The wild card, ALDS.
No, but
ALCS,
but my
World
point was
Series.
more about having the opportunity within the playoffs, having that opportunity.
Yeah.
So
I
Ted Williams only got one.
but
So
you
I
only-
actually took that point, and I know it's fair. So I went through the entire league when Ted Williams was in the league and when Ortiz was in the league, and so I mapped it out and said, how many times would Ted Williams have made the playoffs under the format that David Ortiz played in, which was the 4 teams within each league
And what'd you come up
make
with?
the playoffs?
How many times?
So Ted Williams would have made it
15 times?
15 times.
Now, Ted Williams, lifetime 344 hitter, do you think that he would have compiled any postseason numbers if he'd had 15 opportunities to do it, Tim?
I do. Yeah, playing the
you
odds.
do?
I do. But here's the thing. And he had the 5 years taken away in his prime and all that. And I've already conceded. And I wouldn't even go near this. I'm not raising statistical argument against Ted Williams. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Mine is it's probably a parsing of words, okay? But the most prominent representative of Red Sox Nation in all of his greatness and all of the great moments, factoring in everything that we suffered through for so long.
Yeah.
He embodies all of it and was the fuel in 2013. I mean, that team, I hate to say this, but and I think we all think it and probably don't always say it, but that team doesn't win the World Series unless the marathon bombing happens. And they don't win the World Series unless they get galvanized. And the engine behind galvanizing them was David Ortiz. And you know more than anyone.
Well,
like
as
soon as 2007, Mikey, when the Patriots lost the undefeated season, I remember driving home with my dad, from where we were watching the Super Bowl, and I wasn't even like all that bummed out because I never thought I'd see the Red Sox win 2 World Series, let alone win a World Series, let alone 2 at that point.
But you're getting away from the argument, though. The argument,
and then the Patriots have already won 3, so. Like, we've had so much glory the last 20 years.
I get it, but you're talking history of the franchises as opposed to the players' record of who's the greatest Red Sox player. You're getting away from the actual crux of the discussion. Yeah, right?
But that's your argument.
Well,
your
hold
argument's
on,
a statistical argument. Like you put it this way.
How do you argue who's a greater
way.
baseball player? You have to use statistics or you can't do it.
All right, well, okay, we can talk a little statistics. I mean, I wouldn't even look at the regular season. What about the postseason, Mike? To quote the great Herm Edwards,
what
you play
about
to win the game, right?
Well, I know, but I just told you, Ted Williams had one chance to play in the postseason. He had a broken elbow.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, I know.
So
I read the science of hitting. I read the teammates. I know. I'm a historian myself. I can pop in and out of decades as fast as you can with history. But the reality is, it happened, and because of that, it didn't happen. He didn't get that chance. So who had the mantle to have the opportunity to be more great? It's Ortiz. And who took advantage of the mantle? It was Ortiz.
He did, but not to be the greatest. If you ask David Ortiz right now to swear to God on a sodium pentothal dose to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, who was a better Red Sox player, he'd say Ted Williams.
Yeah, he would, and that would be humble. And he's probably
so now humility has to figure into this
in terms of just the player. But being a Red Sox fan and being
Jim,
a Red Sox and being is different.
344. How about 289? Okay, that's only 55 points lower than Ted Williams' lifetime average. I understand that. And in the home runs, and you compare, you take out the 5 years, you put him back, Ted still has more home runs, more runs batted in, higher on-base percentage, better slugging average. I don't understand how anybody can
more
say
home runs.
No, he would if
you put those.
Oh
okay.
yeah, because Poppy had 541, right?
Yep.
Ted
Yep.
had 521. So 20 home runs. He missed 5 years because of the
Jim's
wars.
argument really comes down to kind of the feeling of
The trophy.
Ortiz.
The
And,
trophy.
Yeah, well, I
It
mean,
came down to the
that's,
trophy.
I understand that.
Let me
That's
give
a
you
fair
let me
argument.
give you another way to say a couple of ways to say this. First of all, being the greatest clutch performer means something. I'm going to make a parallel. All right, let's look at like the Brady Manning argument as a parallel. There were people firmly in the camp that Manning was better. I was never one of them. I suspect that the three other people in the studio right now were never one of them. And I'd take Brady every day,
Of course.
all day. And at that point, when they were both playing, Manning had the stats. Eventually, Brady took it all.
Right.
But a better comparison to like a guy like Ted Williams would be, and not disparaging the greatest hitter of all time.
Yeah.
Would be like Dan Marino. Remember in the '80s, Dan Marino was the best
Well, he
quarterback
never
that
won
ever walked the
anything.
face
No,
of the
I
earth
understand
during that.
that.
Time. But he never won shit.
He never won anything. But listen, here, you're talking about the guy, Ted Williams. Okay, last man to hit 400. He hit a home run in his final at bat. I mean, that's like that alone is unbelievable. Earlier in his career, he's winning triple
Poppy
crowns.
hit the most home runs by a player in his final season.
He's winning
Similar.
Jim, it's Ted fucking Williams.
I know it is.
Okay, just so
I know it is.
Okay, so
I know it is. My closing argument would be, and I
it's
don't
like you
give
want
it
to
a
shit
close
with the
yet, but,
big
you know,
dogs.
but
You got to
Ted-
have
Ortiz has
long
his head
legs,
still
motherfucker.
on his shoulders. That's important. And he gets shot. And he still has his head on his shoulders. Anyway,
He didn't get shot when he was playing, and Ted Williams did in an airplane in a war. You know what I'm saying? Like this is.
I hear you.
You
Look
can't.
at-
You can't
he's
do this.
immortal, Mikey. He's immortal.
Okay, and you
Ted Williams is
admit that
immortal.
he's the greatest
And
hitter of all
he's
time.
Up there with the
So
top
wait,
Americans
hold
with
on,
Abe
hold
Lincoln
on.
and George Washington.
You,
all that. But
Jim,
the greatest Red
Jim,
Sox is David
Jim.
Ortiz. He's the guy who
No,
flips
you're
the
full of
soup better
shit.
than
I love you,
anybody.
but you're full of shit. Let me just tell you something.
Shit, I know I'm full of shit, but so
Okay,
are you.
here's the thing. You just said he's the greatest hitter of all time. Okay,
No question.
Okay,
Unquestionable.
David Ortiz
Unquestionable.
never played in the field. He was a designated hitter. So would he be the
He played
second?
a little bit, Mikey. He played a little.
You're not going to throw his glove into this
Made a
conversation.
hell of a play in the interleague against Philly a few years ago.
Come on.
10%
Nice
of his
scoop.
games he played in the field. 10%.
Yeah.
He played 260 games
That's
in the field of his
nothing.
2,000. I'm just telling you what that
Basically,
so
he was a
everyone
DH.
knows exactly what
If
it is.
Ted had been a DH, he would have had a longer career. He hit 388, won a batting title at the age of 39. He won a batting title, 388. If he'd had any legs at all left, he would have had 400 as a 39-year-old dude.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. It's late and close. It's Game 7 of the World Series. It's all on the line.
Yeah.
Let's say you're down a run and one is on, two are out.
Yeah.
Who do you want at the plate?
Ted.
Who you take?
I want Ted. He's 400.
I'm taking. There's no way I'm taking Poppy out of that. We've got documentation.
All right,
And it's no disrespect to Ted. I'm not taking David Ortiz out of that situation.
Okay,
No way.
but Jim, we have to go. You
How
know,
about Bill and Ben? I want to hear what Bill and Ben have to say to that one.
tell him he lost, guys. Tell him. He lost the conversation. It's Ted
Listen,
Williams.
I don't. It doesn't bother me as much as it clearly bothers you two. But to me,
It doesn't bother me at all. I think it's. I mean,
right, I'm going to share something with you right now.
Williams. I don't lose.
I'm going to
Ted
share
fucking
something.
Williams.
I've met them.
I want to know who you.
I
wanna
would
know who Bill
hedge-
and Ben. I want to know
I
who
would
Bill and Ben
hedge
wanted
towards
to play
Ted
when
Williams.
it's late and close with it all on the line.
Listen,
Who would you rather
Who would
have?
I rather have is, as you acknowledged, the greatest hitter who ever lived.
Yeah. Let me just.
And I understand what you're saying. And David Ortiz had a tremendous amount of big hits in the postseason, but we all acknowledge the greatest hitter who ever lived. You don't want that guy up.
Wins.
I'm going to take what my eyes have shown me over Ortiz's career, not only in the postseason, the regular season, but in the postseason. I'm taking that money. And maybe I've been watching Boston sports too long, and I watched the Red Sox for too long. But I'll take the money in the bank on that one.
You need
all day long.
cataract surgery if that's what you're seeing. Here's the thing. I met both of these guys. I asked them both, okay? I asked Poppy. I said, David, who's the greatest Red Sox of all time? He said, Ted Williams. I asked Ted Williams. I said, Ted, who's the greatest Red Sox of all time? He said, Ted Williams.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's unanimous. Jimmy, thanks for joining us on this.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
You're
it was
a
fun.
nut.
Thanks,
I'd love to
Jim.
do it
Good to
again.
talk to you,
We
bud.
still like you a lot, even though you're a knucklehead.
Love you, man.
See
If
ya.
you want more bad tweets, go to at WEEI Hacksaw. You know where to find me.
Yeah, I'm following you all along. Jim Hackett, everybody. He's partly responsible for the success of Mike Mutnansky.
I mean, his argument only comes down to feeling.
Yeah, it's always.
Which I get, and who
It's a
doesn't
good
love
argument,
David Ortiz?
even though it's invalid because Ted Williams is clearly the answer to the question. There's no question about it.
I'm a Ted guy, by the way, in case I know Jim wanted to know how I felt.
My dad used to walk over from Northeastern University and watch Ted play afternoon games and keep score. He kept score at every game, you know. He gave me a box score that he filled out. It was a doubleheader, and Ted Williams was 6 for 8 in the doubleheader with two doubles, a homer, and the rest singles. And I thought when he gave it to me, I was like, wow, look at this, 1947 maybe or something like that. I said, this is a great little look at what Ted Williams was in a doubleheader, 6 hits and a walk. Unbelievable.
You know what game my great-grandfather was at? Game 3, 1932 World Series.
Wow.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth's
called
called
shot?
shot.
Wow.
My grandfather still has the ticket stub.
They should sell it to you. I give it to you. You can
Give it to me, not sell it
You
to
can
me.
sell it.
I don't have that kind of scratch.
Probably worth $1 million.
I did a called shot myself one time. I was in a bar. I go, tequila, please.
That's the joke.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's an actual. It actually happened. Okay. Well, now I got a list of things that piss me off, but they're funny, so don't get too shook up.
We'll be the judge of whether it's funny or not.
There's a ticket stub of that up for sale for $10,000.
You got to get that thing.
We got to get that.
You could
Get
buy-
that.
You could buy an electric car.
I was eating some Frosted Cheerios the other night. I eat cereal every night before bed.
Yeah.
And I was eating Frosted Cheerios, and I thought, Frosted Cheerios? Didn't they used to have Frosty-Os? Remember they had a cereal called Frosty-Os?
Yeah, mhm.
And they were, in essence, the same thing. They were Frosted Cheerios.
Yeah, that's right.
What made them change the name from Frosty-Os to Frosted Cheerios? Isn't that kind of unnecessary?
Might have been some legal wrangling somewhere.
But
involved in
Frosty-Os
it.
were around forever. While you're at it, maybe you call up some old commercials from cereal because I know them all. Look for Rice Crinkles.
Rice Crinkles.
Oh my God, it's the most racist commercial. But back then it wasn't considered that. No, there was a little lack of a better word, Oriental guy on the box.
Yes.
I don't know if he's Japanese, Korean. I don't know.
An Asian man.
No, you have
Say
to
Oriental.
put in Rice Crinkles commercial. Okay, put that in because if we can find that,
Yes.
you won't believe the shit they used to put on the air in the 50s and 60s. It's K-R-I-N-K Rice Crinkles. K-L-E-S. There you go. Oh, here it is. Look, see? Oh, I just knocked over my tea.
Geez, he knocked over the
Put the black and white one on. This is an Asian.
So I have exciting story to tell about beautiful new Ford Mustang car.
No.
And inside the car, boy and mother and shopping bag.
What year was this?
65.
Wow. Wow, 65.
Rice Crinkles.
I box of post-rice crinkles?
Wow, Mom, boy, oh boy. There's a Mustang car inside the Rice Crinkles.
Oh, no, dear. The Rice Crinkles are inside our Mustang.
But there is a Mustang
Stupid.
inside the
Anyway,
Rice Crinkles.
but Rice
Wow, that was some
Crinkles.
racist shit right there. Holy fuck.
There's some that was really good cereal.
Yep, Madison Ave back in the 60s.
I don't know what they did. They added some special. It was really, really
Crack.
good. But they had. It was clearly a demeaning ad for Asian folks.
Yeah, no shit.
But in the old days, and then they had Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yep.
They've had that forever.
But you know that's the thing about people with disability. They're cuckoo. They're insane or what have you. Play this black and white one here of the post Rice Crinkles. This is and when it's in black and white, it's really, really bad.
And old.
Yeah, and very old. Okay, ready?
No,
they have a
some
commercial?
dumbass ad's going to play first. Hold on.
All right, just hit
It's
the
a
thing.
4.5 minute ad to play a 30-second clip.
Here we go.
Now you get Rickshaw Runner completely free inside every box of post-rise crinkles. So I say, rice that is crinkled is sweetest to eat because it's crinkled with sugar, and sugar is sweet. Now what you say?
Same as you. Crinkles are crinkly and sweetest to eat, cause they're...
Crinkled.
Crinkled. Crinkles are sugar and sugar is sweet.
Ah, so.
So. Oh, my you see what I'm saying?
It's clearly like a 7-year-old white woman doing the voice, too.
Rice crinkles are sweet with sugar. I mean, what are they doing there? Anyway, but I do love the cereal. They don't make them anymore, rice crinkles. I wish they did. They were great.
Some Madison Ave guy said, I got it. We got rice.
Yeah.
We need a Chinese guy.
Right.
Young friends, this is a cuckoo bird.
Pop, pop, Cocoa Pops. Yum, yum, yum. Pop.
Want to have some fun? Watch.
Yum.
All right.
Watch out because I'm...
Cuckoo.
Cocoa Pop.
Now this guy should be in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson, but they're making fun of basically disabled people.
That's right.
And all in these, it's all about cereal commercials. They're getting people at a young age to latch on to this stuff. It's like the Frito Bandito, the Mexican. I mean, they made fun of it. I can't believe the advertising has come this far. I'm really happy. Now they should have a new cereal. I think
a new cereal.
Yeah. They put everything in cereal now. Blueberries.
Hello, boys and girls.
No.
It's me, the Frito Bandito.
There it is.
You know what I heard about you?
What?
I heard you want to be a Frito Bandito like me.
You're a gringo.
You too? Then you must sing the Bandito song. Let's sing together.
Okay.
You just follow the bounce
Ready?
Frito's corn chips.
You know it? I am the Frito Bandito.
I like Frito's corn chips. I love them, I do.
Okay, that's
I
enough.
want Frito's corn chips.
So, because they put marshmallows now. Have you seen the Lucky Charms? They have everything in there. They throw
They're magically
everything.
delicious.
That's right.
They
I hate
put
Lucky Charms.
blueberries, and they put chocolate now and almonds. It's their special K with everything you possibly add to it. I think they should have a new cereal called Dingleberries.
Dingleberries.
Yeah, they taste like shit. Oh, man. What do you think? People would buy them and just say, "I got to try these. This is funny."
Dingleberries.
Anyway, that'll be our next sponsor. Speaking of sponsors, something that tastes really good is my grandma's coffee cake. Call 1-800-8-GRANDMA. And don't forget, MikeStacyGolf.com for your golf lessons.
That's right.
I'm going up there Friday for a lesson.
And we're also brought to you by Flutie Flakes.
Flutie Flakes.
Remember those?
Yes. I think I still have a box somewhere.
So, yeah, Dingleberries, they'll be the next sponsor.
And Billy Beer. I've got a can of Billy Beer in the house.
Billy Carter, Jimmy Carter's brother, who pissed on his foot at the airport. Remember? The president's brother. We thought Hunter was bad, doing crack with hookers and whores. Billy Carter was drunk in an airport and pulled it out and peed on his own foot because he couldn't get to the bathroom in time.
Wasn't Bill Clinton's brother a fuck up too?
Yep.
Yeah, drug addict, yeah.
Roger? Is that his name?
Roger Clinton. I think it was, yeah.
And we are ripping the shit out of everybody, huh?
Jeez, I'm telling you.
But, I do like Jim Hackett. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Yeah. So anything I said bad about him, like he's full of shit or whatever, it's true.
He did get in the ring with you, though. You guys went toe-to-toe. It was pretty good.
You guys, I want to discuss this. This is you know how I have those ESPN moments? ESP, I mean?
Yes.
In my head. I was watching a movie on Turner Classic Movies, maybe, or on Netflix, it might have been. The Dirty Dozen.
Ooh.
Now.
The old movie?
The 1967.
That's one with Lee Marvin and those guys?
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. The cast of that movie was unbelievable.
Perfect.
And it was in Technicolor, so it was fun to watch, too. Listen to this. And there's, I have that secret birthday ESP surreal speaking to other people.
You have a series of strange coincidences.
Don't play that yet because you're going to know the cast members before I even say them. Stop.
Okay. It's still playing, but now I can't see it.
Lee Marvin, born February 19th, 1924.
Wow.
He was born under a wandering star.
February 19th is my birthday.
Mikey.
1924, exactly 30 years before me. He was having his 30th birthday when I was exiting the womb, so to speak.
He was probably entering a womb.
Now, so I had this thing. I related to this movie, and I said, I got to look at this. I never look at IMDb or anything. I looked at all the cast member. I say, oh, February 19th, that's my birthday. You know, he died at age 63. He also won a Purple Heart in World War II. And you know how he died?
No.
Heart attack.
Lee Marvin.
Purple Heart, heart attack, Lee Marvin, my birthday. Gruff, tough, Lee Marvin.
He was born under a wandering star. Wasn't that him?
You know what other tough guy was in that movie?
Telly Savalas.
Charles Bronson.
Oh, yes.
Born November 3rd, 1921.
Paul Kersey.
Dwight Evans' birthday.
I thought there was going to be something like your brother's birthday. It's like they're all lined up with your family.
It was on Charles Bronson's 30th birthday, just like Lee Marvin when I was born. His 30th birthday was when Dwight Evans was born. So Charles Bronson, who died at the age of 81, he clearly outlasted Lee Marvin as a tough guy. And, of course, Death Wish.
Yeah.
Did you know that Charles Bronson was one of 15 children?
Jesus.
No.
Clearly his mother was anti-abortion.
She was busy.
And with his death, with Charles Bronson's death, August 30th, which is my sister's birthday. Seriously.
Yes.
2003. Who became the last surviving actor to be in one of the title characters of The Magnificent Seven? Robert Vaughn. Remember my story about Robert Vaughn?
The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Don't talk about
Isn't
the Man
that
from
great?
U.N.C.L.E. Yeah.
That all ties in. Now, also in the movie The Dirty Dozen, Jim Brown.
Yep, that's right.
Not James Brown, the singer. Jim Brown, the running back.
Big Jim Brown.
The running back, maybe the greatest running back of all time. I think most people do say that. Yeah. Now, do you have any idea?
Jim Hackett may not say that.
What Jim Brown's birthday is?
February 19th.
Oh, close. February 17th. And wait, do you know who else was born on February 17th? The greatest basketball player of all time. So the greatest football player, February 17th, 1936, Jim Brown. Michael Jordan was born on February 17th. So you got the greatest in two sports, both with the same birthday?
That's quite the link.
I think God is a sports fan. I really do. Let's ask him. Hey, God, are you a sports fan?
Shut up.
Okay, also in that movie, George Kennedy. What was he famous for?
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun and?
Files from the Police Squad.
Naked Gun and what else was he in?
I don't know.
Paul Newman movie?
The Hustler?
Cool Hand Luke.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Cool Hand Luke.
You know what his birthday is?
February 18th.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
February 18th, 1925.
John Travolta's birthday.
I'm hitting this boom, boom.
Is that right? Is it Travolta's birthday?
Yes.
I remember that story.
So,
I can remember things still.
So here I am thinking, I never go to IMDb. I go on, all these people have February 17th, February 19th, February 18th. Oh, what? What's going on here? By the way, George Kennedy lived to be 91 years old, and he was in every Western ever made, wasn't he?
Yes.
All right, Telly Savalas, you mentioned him.
Mm-hmm.
Telly Savalas was born January 21st, 1922, which is 1/21/22. That's the date.
Yes.
My dad was born 1/22/23. My dad. Now, do you know what date Telly Savalas died? January 22nd. The day after his birthday,
1/22.
on my father's birthday, Telly Savalas, that bald-headed shit. You know, one time I went to a Hollywood museum, and they had a display. It was Telly Savalas's dick in a 5-quart pickle jar.
No.
Yeah. Should have seen it. It's unbelievable.
No.
He died of prostate cancer. He was Kojak.
Ouch.
Yeah, lollipop-sucking detective.
Yep.
Remember?
He was tough.
Clint Walker, who was Cheyenne Bodie.
Yep.
He was in that movie. Ernest Borgnine. Ernest Borgnine was born on January 24th in Hamden, Connecticut, 1917, and he lived to be 95.
Wow.
And they had him on one of the morning talk shows. I don't know if it was Good Morning America or something, and he's on there, and they said, well, what do you attribute your long life to? And he said to the lady who was the host, I can't remember which one it was, he said, I masturbate a lot. He said that on national TV at age 90 or something.
You can get away with that.
I thought it was one of the greatest things ever. Other people in that movie, what a cast.
Yeah.
Trini Lopez.
Yep.
If I had a hammer,
That's him.
I'd hammer in the morning. John Cassavetes, who was Rosemary's Baby's dad, the baby dad of the devil, and he's been dead for a long time. He died at age 59. Yeah. And Robert Ryan. You know who else was in that movie?
No.
Donald Sutherland.
That's right.
Who's still alive.
Played a kind of a goofy guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's 87 years old. Wow. So isn't that? I mean, so I'm watching this movie, and it just came to me. This is an unbelievable cast of movie tough guys or bad guys or great, future greats. Dirty Dozen, 1967.
Cheeseball and corny, but great.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, in 1967, everything was kind of cheeseball, corny, too sir with love. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't get good till like the French Connection. Gritty, real.
French Connection. Popeye Doyle.
There was a porn version of that.
Oh.
What a chase scene that was. It was called French Erection. Seriously. I'm kidding, of course. Now, I was going to discuss this a little bit with Jim Hackett, but he jumped out of here too early.
What do you have?
I'm looking at the Red Sox right now. By the way, the trading deadline went by.
Yes, sir.
And the catcher is gone. Christian Vasquez.
Too bad.
They're cleaning people out. Why they do that?
Well, they're having they're in the selling mode. I mean, they're
not really
18 behind the Yankees, and
they didn't really
August.
sell though. They brought in Eric Hosmer, so they
didn't have anything to sell.
They didn't have a first baseman, so you basically flipped a catcher for a first baseman with the same production. They're basically the same exact production so far this year.
But think about he had clutch hits.
I like Vasquez.
Let's get Jim Hackett back in here.
I wish they didn't get rid of. I love Vasquez.
I know, and I
really
thought he did a pretty good job. And now he's gone. Who's playing now? Plawecki?
Oh God,
it's unbelievable. Casey Stengel once said, I love Casey Stengel stories. Casey Stengel, the manager of the Yankees, once sat down on the bench next to Bob Serve, who was like a reserve outfielder on the Yankees. He sat down next to him on the bench and he said, "No, nobody knows this, but one of us just got traded to Kansas City," which is just beautiful. It's
one of us.
One of us just got traded. Casey, God love you. But pitchers are the worst investment in all of baseball. I look at all the guys the Red Sox have spent so much money on. And I'm talking serious money, more than anybody. And bolstering a pitching staff. This is over the last few years. Think about it. David Price, useless piece of shit. Evaldi's been injured. I mean, I liked him when he's in there.
Yeah, but David Price was great because he came in clutch that one time.
Nathan Evaldi.
That one time.
Yeah, we were like, well, he was great. And they wouldn't have won the World Series without him. I was like, yeah, but he was dog shit in the rest of the playoffs.
Yep.
Every
Exactly.
other year. And he was a mediocre regular season pitcher.
He was and he was an asshole to our good buddy Eck. Evaldi has been, when he's in there, he looks impressive at times in the Yankee game. But guess what? He's been hurt almost all the time he's been with the club, and they paid him a lot of money, didn't they?
Yes.
Eduardo Rodriguez. I mean, he's shit right now. He went to Detroit. He can't even pitch at all. He's mental. Something
disappeared.
Something happened to the guy, and they were all prepared to give him big money, and they actually gave him a contract. But again, pitcher. How about Chris Sale? With all due respect for what he can do, he's been shit as far as being worth the money. $30 million a year.
Yeah.
Injury. How about Rick Porcello? He had one good year, and then he sucked.
They should judge a salary by the performance of the year. And at the end of the year, wherever they came in, according to their stats and then where the team places, that should determine their salary. Performance.
Yeah, well, right. And if I don't mind someone getting a big fat base, let's say, you $10 million a year, and then if you win 20 games, it's another $10 million or whatever. Make it all like incentive based.
Yeah.
Because
you think they'd try a little harder if that was the case.
Well, you sign a pitcher for 5 years. You're lucky you get 2 good years out of him. Unless you're talking about a Scherzer or a Verlander or somebody like that, you're really screwing yourself to commit heavy to pitchers.
Well, Verlander's a complete freak show, especially what he's doing right now at 40.
Right.
You're right. I mean, Scherzer's been worth the money through his contracts up until now, but most of the time when you look at these pitchers, you kind of look at it a 6-year run.
Right.
And after that, it's quickly diminishing returns.
When I say Bill Lee's name and he won 17 games, 3 consecutive years, 51 games in 3 years, what would that command in today's a left-handed starter who never gets hurt, who wins 17 games every season? What would that get?
And can play hurt.
Would that get $25 million a year at least?
Oh, yeah.
You know what the most Bill Lee ever made in a baseball season was?
$250,000.
$275,000.
Really?
That was it?
That was the highest he ever got paid.
Wow.
Isn't that unbelievable? And, Nolan Ryan, the first guy to be a million dollar a year player, he ended up being way worth it. He still had 4 more no-hitters left in him. It's unbelievable. But I say, in general, if the Red Sox could do one thing smart, don't throw all the stress on the pitchers. Look at the guys that are doing best for them right now. Who's that reliever that's doing great? He just pitched last night, too. They get these guys for nothing, and they emerge as stars. Anyway, that's how I feel about it.
Well, that was good.
Put the money into the players that are going to be around every day. Rafael Devers, pay the guy. He plays every game.
I have a theory. I don't know if I've told you about this before. What's going on? Why they're reluctant to pay certain people and everything like that. I think within the next 5 years, they're trying to get out. They're trying to sell the Red Sox. I think they're trying to get into the NBA. Either buy a team or
so
have
LeBron will be happy
have the next expansion. Well, because the NBA, the minute LeBron retires, they're going to want him involved, like Jordan, and part ownership of a team with a solid ownership group. I think they're going to sell this team within the next 5 years. They're going to try and get into the NBA because the NBA is growing globally and baseball is shrinking.
That means we're going to still be beholden to China. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little. LeBron can.
Well, that's not the only place it's growing.
No, but that's the one that pays the most.
Yeah.
You know what LeBron can do unbelievably well? LeBron can do a lot of things.
Yep.
He aggrandizes very well. He invests his money very well.
He does.
He changes teams very well. And he can also kiss my ass.
Have you watched
very well? Because I don't like him.
Any of the episodes of Ted Lasso with Jason Sudeikis?
I only saw the pilot or the first episode.
It's actually pretty damn good, and that's one of LeBron's investments there.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, the fact that he's involved with the Red Sox troubles me deeply because I'm not a big LeBron fan. I think he's a joker. Oh, did I say joker?
You did say joker.
We got a couple jokers coming in here right now. We're talking about Joe and Jerry to close out this wonderful podcast, gentlemen. Are you excited? Joe and Jerry. Imagine that.
Oliver?
What is this, Ben? What are you having, an error?
Ben, are you okay?
Ben has one job.
I'm good. What are you
Joe,
talking about?
Jerry, get in here.
It's fine.
Now! Some people call me the Space Cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the Gangster of Love. Some people call you Maurice, Joe. Because I speak of the pompousness of love. What the hell's a pompatus? People talk about me, baby. They say I'm doing you wrong. Doing you wrong. It's kind of repetitious. Don't you worry, baby. Don't worry about it. Because I'm right here. I'm right here at home, Joe. That's yours. I'm a picker. I'm a grinner. I'm a lover. And I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. And in the bathroom, I'm a joker. I'm a smoker. I'm a midnight toker. Only the good stuff. I get my lovin' on the run. At least you don't get the runs in your lovin'. This is me on guitar, by the way, Troop. You can really wail on that thing, huh, Joe? You're a guitar guy, huh? Oh, yeah. Don't fret about it. You can use that as a pickup line, unless she's high-strung. That's good, Troop. You're the cutest thing that I ever did see. Because I haven't been many places. I really love your peaches, and I want to shake your tree. Nice pits. Lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey all the time. I got that pit joke, Joe. A little fuzzy on that one. Peach jokes. You fruit. Because I'm a picker, and I'm a grinner. I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. Can you believe it? I'm a joker. I'm a smoker. I'm a midnight toker. I think I really have the runs. The Hershey squirts, Joe.